All right. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another free online lesson by XX Systems. Today, we are going to learn the basic 3ds Max furniture designs for living room. My name is Jeremy, and by the end of this video, you'll be able to design the furniture as shown from the picture over here. Now, let's get started. So before you start, make sure you are using the make sure you go customize and go to units and make sure your units are in millimeters. After this, just click OK. And now we are going to start by drawing the box here, the living room. So first we are going to go over this section, standard primitive, and select box. We are going to draw the box by clicking on it and dragging it up. And we are going to draw it up like so. Now, as you can see here, we don't really mind on our dimensions here because there's no specific dimensions that you need to use. But for this box, I'm just going to select the height to 100 millimeters. And after this, I'm going to convert this box to an editable poly. To do that, I'm first going to select the modify button here. And after that, I'll right click on this box and convert it to editable poly. And now your box will be in an editable poly. So as you can see when I zoom in, you couldn't see there's a white line over here on the box. So to make sure that I can see the line here, make sure you go default shading and select the edge faces here. When you select the edge faces, you can finally see there's a line on the box here. So after this, I'm going to start by going down, selecting this drop button from the editable poly, and I'll select the edge. After clicking on the edge, you can see that I can finally select the edges here. So I'm going to select the first edge over here, hold Control, and select the other edge. And now I'm going to scroll down and click on the connect button here. When I click on the connect button, you can see that these two lines are connected together. Now I'm going to select the move button and move it slightly to the left. Okay, I'll just move it to the left like so. And now I'm going to select this line, which is already selected. And I hold Control and I click the second line. After that, I'll do the same thing by selecting the connect button. And move it to the right this time, like so. Now, both of these rectangles are going to be extruded. So to do that, we are first going to click on the polygon right here. I'll select the first polygon, hold Control and select the second one. And now we are going to extrude a roll to the top. To do that, first you are just going to click on this extrude button here. And after that, just click on it and drag the polygon. So let's say I let go. What happens? How can you continue extruding this wall? To do that, just simply click on the move icon and adjust your extrusion. Instead of clicking extrude again, just use the move button so you won't extrude it twice. So I'm going to extrude it upwards like so. A little bit more. And finally, you have a room, an isometric room over here. Now, let's move on by designing the windows. To do that, I'll select the front surface of this wall, and I'll hold Ctrl and select the back face. If you select these surfaces together, make sure there's a line here, so the surfaces that you selected are equal. They have the same size. After this, I'm going to click on the insert here and insert it inwards, like so. After this, you have the shape of a window. So we are going to delete this surface here, front and back, just click delete. And after deleting it, you can see that there's a hole inside this wall here. So to make sure that we cover up these holes, you can just go ahead and select edge. And after selecting edge, you can click on the first one, the first line here, hold Ctrl, click on the second line, and we are going to use the bridge button here. Click on bridge and it will cover the holes. And we are going to do the same for the bottom one. Select these two lines, bridge. Select these two lines, bridge. And lastly, the top one. I'm also going to select both of these lines and bridge it together. And there you have it. You have successfully designed a window section here. Now let's start by designing the window frame. To do that, we are first going to click on the plus icon here and select box. Now to make sure that we design the frame that is touching the hole here, the rectangle here, make sure we turn on the snap toggle and right click on it. When right clicking on it, make sure you are using the vertex layer. After that, just close it. So when I select the box and I hover around this edge here, you can see that there's a yellow plus here, right here when I hover around it. So once I hover around this, I'm just going to click and drag. And I'll hover to another plus here and let go. Now I'm going to snap it to another edge here. And finally, your box is connected to the edge. Now I'm going to set the width here. To set it, just hold the top button here and just drag it to the top. So you can set the thickness of your windows. And I'm going to move this window to the left side. So to move it to the left side, right now I'm selecting the whole gizmo. So if I want to select one axis, just turn off the snap toggle. Now I can move the x-axis only. And I'm going to go back to modify and adjust the width like so. And once you're done adjusting the width, then you can start by converting this box into an editable poly. To do that, I'll select the box again, go to modify, and I'll right click on the box and select editable poly. After this, I'm going to start by selecting the polygon, and I'll remove the front and back face of the polygon. And then I'll delete it. After deleting it, we are going to make sure that our window frame has a little bit of thickness. To do that, just go to the drop down from the modifier list and find the shell function. I'm going to find the shell function and click on it. And I'll set the outer amount to 0 because we are going to set the inner amount. So just slowly set the inner amount to your liking. I'll just do it like this. This one should be fine. Now, right now we are going to design the inner window frame. To do that, go to the plus button and select box. This time we need to turn on the auto grid. The function of the auto grid is to make sure that you draw your object on the surface of another object. So right now, I'm going to draw it on top of this surface. I'm just going to draw a square here. And then drag it and draw it to the side here. Now after this, I'm going to select modify. And as you can see, this box here, the gizmo is located at the edge. So I want to move the gizmo to the middle. And the reason why, I'll explain it later on as we move on. All right, so to change the location of the gizmo to the center of this box, I'll simply click on the hierarchy button here, click on it, I'll select effect pivot only and center to object. Now you can see it's on the center. So after this, I'm going to hold shift and move it upwards, click OK. And now I can finally rotate it. So the reason why I do this is so that I can rotate it to the center. Now I'm going to turn on the snap toggle so I can rotate it by 5 degrees. After you snap it to 90 degrees, you can just simply click on the scale function and select the Z axis to scale the height. I'm going to do that. Simply scale it and move it downwards to the center. And there you have it. You finally designed your window. Now let's move on to design the TV section. So I'm going to click on this box again and I'll select polygon. Now this time I'm going to select the left surface and inset it. Now click on the inset and inset this inwards like so. And now I'm going to adjust this the height of this box. To do that, I'm going to use the same function, the scale, and I use the Z axis to scale the height like so. After this, I'm going to move this height, the polygon downwards, and scale it once more. Inset it once more, sorry. Inset it a little bit inwards, and I'll scale it outwards a little bit. Okay, now I can move it downwards so we can have a proper section for our TV. Now after this, I'm going to select polygon again, and now we are going to extrude these surfaces here. Let's extrude this surface forwards like so. So there you have it, there's a section. And now I'm going to go to the plus button again, and this time I'm going to design a television. So I'll simply select box and make sure you have the auto grid turned on. I'll draw a TV here. And since it is a flat screen TV, I'm going to make it slightly flatter. Alright, after this, I'm going to convert this box into an editable format. To do that, same thing, go to the modify and convert it to editable poly. Now I'm going to select the polygon, the front surface, and inset it inwards a little bit. And after that, I'm going to extrude it inwards as well, just a little. And there you have it. After this, I'm going to design a cabinet below the television. Same thing, I'm going to use the box and just draw below this television here. Like so. So now I'm going to convert this box into an editable polygon. Right? And after this, I'm going to select polygon. I'm only going to select the front face and delete the front face. So since it is flat, we are going to shell this cabinet here by using the modifier list. Click on it and find the shell button here. Click on shell and I'm going to set the inner amount like so. And done. There you have it. Moving on to the next furniture, we are going to start by designing a sofa. To do that, click on the plus button, and this time instead of standard primitive, we are going to go to extended primitives. Click on it and we are going to use the chamfer box function here. Now let's start by designing the sofa. So I'm going to drag a rectangle here, drag it upwards, and then you click on it and then you drag it inwards for the chamfer and click on it. This will be the base for the sofa. And now I'm going to convert this chamfer box to an editable poly. Same thing, go to modify, right click and convert it to editable poly. Now I'm going to select the edge. I'll click on the first edge and the second edge by holding Control. And after this, I'm just going to connect. Now I'm going to move this line to the right slightly. And after this, I'm going to select this line and this line by holding Control. Now, I'm going to connect this line, but you are going to use the settings instead of the connect button. Why? This is because we are going to set the segments to 2. So when I click on 2 segments, there will be 2 lines here. And you are going to simply just set the distance by controlling this section here. Going to set it like so, and done. After you've done, just simply click the tick icon. We are going to move on to extrude this polygon here that we have just created. So I'm going to select polygon, hold Control and just click on the sides that you designed. And now we are going to extrude it. Click on extrude and extrude it upwards. If you want to adjust, just simply click on the move button to adjust it. I'm going to adjust it like this. And now we are going to, as you can see, the sides are very sharp. So we are going to chamfer the sides. So first, I'm going to select the edge and just select this by holding Control. Select all of the sides here. So let's say if I accidentally select this side. To unselect this edge, just simply hold out and select. Now you are unselecting the edge. I'm going to move on by selecting all the edge here for the sides. And now we are going to chamfer. So to chamfer, just select the settings next to the chamfer button. And if you move these measurements here, you can see that your chamfer, your sides is very sharp. To make sure it is not sharp, just add more segments to it, like so. Or add 3 segments. And there you have it. After this, I'm just going to select the tick icon here. Sorry. I'll select the edge again. Chamfer. And select the tick icon when you are done. Now let's start by designing the cushion. To design the cushion, we are going to use the same function, which is the chamfer box. Select the chamfer box and draw a box here, and then draw it upwards. and inwards for the chamfer. After this, I'm going to select the move button. I'm going to hold shift and move the x-axis to copy the cushion. After this, we are going to need another one here. So the number of copies, I'm just going to select 2. Click OK, and as you can see, it's slightly bigger. So if you wanna set it, just simply hold Control, select all of this so far here, and resize it to their respective positions. Like so. Okay, once you are done, you have successfully designed your sofa. Now moving on to the next one, we are going to start by designing the carpet. So to do that, we will go back to the standard primitive function and select box. So the reason why I select box instead of plane, because I have the power to set the thickness of the carpet. So for the thickness, I'm going to select 5 millimeters. And there you have it. Now we are going to move on by designing the table. So I'm going to use the same function box and draw a box here. And then draw it upwards. Now I'm going to convert this table into an editable poly using the same method that we did just now. And after this, I'm going to delete the front and the back face of the box. And finally, I'm going to select the edge here. So to select the edges all around, we are just going to use the ring function. If you click on it, the edges will all be selected from the object using the ring function. Now we can chamfer the edges. I'll click on settings next to the chamfer and I'll edge it, chamfer it, and add more segments. After that, just simply click the tick icon here. Now we are going to shell the table by going to the modifier list, scroll down and select the shell. I'm going to adjust the inner amount by just a little bit higher so it looks more like a table. And after this, you are done with designing the table. So for the last furniture, we are going to design a lamp. To do that, select the plus icon and select cylinder. We are going to design a cylinder over here and move it upwards. As you can see here, I'll select the height segments to 0 or 1. So as you can see here, the cylinder is a bit sharp on the edges. So if you want to make it a bit rounder, just increase the sides here. Now it looks a bit more rounder. For now, I'm going to convert this cylinder into an editable poly. And after that, I'm going to select polygon, select the top face, and insert the top face because we are going to design a stick upwards. After that, I'm going to extrude this upwards. Using the same, we are going to move to adjust the extrusion. So I'll just move it slightly over here. And there you have it. Now you have designed the lamp stand. We are going to design the lamp now. It's very simple. Just select the cone and draw a cone here on the surface. Make sure you turn on your auto grid. And instead of drawing a cone, I'm just going to draw a lamp, like a lamp shape. Now I'm going to convert this cone into an editable poly. And after that, I'm going to delete the front face and the bottom face of this cone. And after that, I'm going to use the same function again, the shell function. Scroll down and select the shell. And I'm going to make sure that the inner amount is slightly thinner, like so. So right now, how do you align this lamp to the lampstand? To do that, select this cone first, and we are going to select this align button over here. And after that, just click on this lamp. This will be the settings for our alignment, and just simply click OK. After this, I'm going to move the Z-axis upwards, and I'm also going to move this, scale this lamp a bit thinner. So just the X and Y axis, scale it a bit smaller, like so. And there you have it. You finally designed all your furnitures in your living room. Now, moving on, I'm going to teach you how to render this whole design over here. I'm going to show you a sample. This is the sample of the final product. So I simply just add more materials into this design here, and also the lighting. So I add materials by selecting this material editor icon, or I'll just simply click M. It will bring me here. So this is how I add all my materials into my design. And also the lightings, as you can see, I have 3 lights over here. One for the windows to the inside, one for the lamps, and one on the outside here. And I also added a camera as a perspective for my living room. Now moving on, I'm going to show you how I do the lights. I'll just simply select this bulb icon here. Go to the drop-down menu, select all knot, and I use the all knot light as my lights here. So the final thing is to render. Before I render, I'm going to go to my camera perspective first. And if you want to render, just simply click on rendering and go to render setup. When you go to the render setup, make sure you use the active shade mode, and I'll use the renderer as R0. This is the view. I'm using the camera right now, as you can see here. And this is all my settings for the rendering. So if you want a custom size, you can click on custom, and you can set the size to your liking. And make sure you also set the area to render to view. So you are basically rendering the whole object that you've designed. So as I scroll down, this is all the settings for my rendering, as you can see here. So after all that's done, just simply click on render. After I render, you just wait a little bit first. This will be the final product of your design. So you have successfully designed your whole furnitures right now, including the render. So this lesson has ended, but before you go, make sure you go to our channel here at ACAD Systems, acadsystems.com. So as you can see here on our website, we are an Autodesk Gold partner and also an authorized training center. So if you go down from our website, we provide you with our latest Autodesk promotions and news, as you can see over here. So as I scroll down again, you can see that we also provide you with our latest Autodesk free online courses and lessons here. This lesson will be our upcoming free online lesson. So if you want to join one of these lessons here, just simply click on it, scroll down, and click on the going button to reserve your seat here. Now moving on, as you scroll down again, you can see we also provide an Autodesk Premium training. Our training center is located at KL and also Penang. You can see from our schedule over here. So if you want to join, just click on this to find out more on our training. So there's a YouTube icon on the bottom footer of our website. So if you click on it, it will bring you to our ACAD Systems website. So once you are here, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and also turn on the notifications. And if you want to rewatch my live video, just simply click on live to rewatch my video here. And if you have any questions, don't forget to leave it in the comments down below. And that's all for today. Thank you for joining our online lesson, and goodbye.